What did this guy who's the cameraman?
Yeah.
Stone match. Now what I need to do is to go onto that. What is it plugged into there? Mic.
Into headphone.
Mic.
Go to the mic.
A pod structure here, just looking to push their big ball carriers right up into the face, and they award themselves a penalty there. Zimbabweans not releasing there. Njabulu and Glovu, big guys ball carrying, and that's a try to number 3 from Tunisia. As we said, if they could stick to their structures, keep ball in hand with the big guys, they certainly would look at marching over those contact situations, carrying on a yard or two, and it seems to be working in their favour. They're carrying over that last 20-minute form from the first half. Your thoughts on that, Dirk?
Yeah, most definitely. I totally agree with you. I think when Jeff was talking about the fact that Tunisia on their deathbed, I think definitely not. Zimbabwe need to be aware that all of a sudden the Tunisian game plan for me is coming together. They're using those big forwards. That was their big number 3. He's a massive unit and barging over the line. They've got to either try and keep it away from those forwards, and that's my one concern when Zimbabwe gets their ball. They're trying these short moves with their forwards and trying to buff it up the middle. For me, it's got to get wide. That's how we started the first half. Our try or the first opportunity of a try came from that, which resulted in the first penalty for Zimbabwe. They need to get the ball wide and try to beat the Tunisians with pace, in my opinion.
Absolutely, we've certainly got the pace. We have the back line to beat the Tunisians one-on-one, but what we need to tighten up on first here is we can obviously see that the Tunisians are barging it up and taking it up on the short ball, and they're marching through that contact situation, creating good ball going forward. Unfortunately, we see Andrew Rose going off. You never see Andrew Rose going off unless there's an injury concern. Tunisian player misses that, bounces off the outside pole, but if Zimbabwe can set themselves defensively at ruck time and move forward as opposed to accepting the ball carrier coming onto them, we can shut that space going forward and apply pressure to the attacking team, which is the Tunisian side. On our ball, we need to start to think a little more cleverly and box up, and play outside the box. Our forwards are not dominating theirs ball in hand, so if we could run a couple screens, push ball in behind, and utilize our backs with ball in hand on the width, we'd be able to ask good questions on that defense. He did exceptionally well there. 3 Zimbabweans hounding him. No tackle made. Ball in hand. Kloppers Makatose. Too bad Nemadire. Makwanya, ball in hand. Taking contact. Let's look to create quick ruck ball here. Penalty earned. Tunisian player not releasing. Always a contentious issue at ruck time. Releasing the player on the floor. Earn yourself a penalty. This is definitely a kickable position. Glad to see Zimbabwean looking to take the points.
Yeah, they've conceded 5 already in the second half. And just give them a little bit time to breathe and to regather their thoughts. We've been talking about the game plan, which sometimes as well with Tunisia playing with these forwards in the back line, it works for them late on attack. The perfect opportunity for Zimbabwe on the counter with these forwards in the back line. They just don't have the pace. So an opportunity for Zimbabwe, they've got a good quick back line. Maybe that's where the ball needs to go. You said we're not really competing with the forwards. The scrums have been tough for us. Our lineouts are okay. Maybe getting the ball away from those forwards and capitalize there where those forwards we do find them in the back line. There might be some opportunities there.
Makonya, 3 points there. Seen a couple changes coming off the bench. Hilton Mudiriki on at number 9 for. I think this is a fantastic substitute.
I had to, well, because they tried, that's the problem. They're also trying to do their stuff because it's, no, I can't put play now. It's stuff I do on the field now. I can't just play. No, but now, why are we hearing them there?
We'll have to check it a little more carefully on the wind here. Wind has died down from the last 20 minutes of the first half, so certainly the wind won't play in this kick. Got a kicker on the long haul here, so Hilton Rodriguez just onto the third half, just after half time, and he'll be making his first kick for balls. Clearly a player with the grip for the big distance in the Zimbabwean team. What you'll be looking for here is a point of contact beyond those balls, ensuring he gets good strike on that ball. Scores excellent.
The main good also make up in here. The main thing was just push come right now to work out with Harare. Instead of making them the one with the laptop. So, they look at me as a great. Exactly. He needs to go for yeah, right. So we walk up to them and focus. Wait about. Yeah, great. Get the comments back in. Where we go? We stayed on here.
Referee cannot find any reason to award that try.
Yeah, no opportunity to call the TMO to have a look at that. So Zimbabwe, knowing that, to get enough hands on the ball and get enough players in the way, the best you can offer Tunisia is a 5-yard scrum.
Yeah, those situations there when you have a scrum and you know we have the strength to move the ball, but certainly not in this field position. We've got the kickers and we've got the line out. We've got a line out defense, so we may as well play some territorial, get the ball down there and let Tunisia ask the questions, apply the pressure on them.
Well, your game plan went according to plan for the first half of it. Number 8 picked it up, got go forward ball, put Tunisia under pressure, support was there, gave some space to the back line, and like you said, the space was there and the pressure was off to be able to just kick it up past the halfway line, even though it would have been turnover ball for Tunisia, but get out of your 22.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, when you're trying to set a contact point and you're sending one of your centers, Boyd Rouse, into that as a first support player, that means you're taking one extra player out your backline attack if you are wanting to move it wide. So Tunisia here on the march with the scrum. They've certainly got the upper hand here, front row keeping it straight. Ball out. Zimbabwe, what they need to do here is close space going forward as quick as they can. Excellent work by Jacques Leitao. Tackle beyond that advantage line. That's exactly what Zimbabwe needs to move forward and to control those collisions, drive for 5 and look to move those Tunisian ball carriers in a backward momentum.
Yeah, it's been good work from Zimbabwe. Tunisia attacking scrum, and they've held up well. And at the moment, Tunisia actually losing ground. It's now the decision on how long they wait before they try out wide with a couple of their forwards in that back line. First receiver.
Good defense from Zimbabwe, and that is exactly what they should have been doing right from the offset, is recognizing those strengths. Tunisia looks to move it wide. Excellent defense from Boyd Rouse. Need to cover out on the width, make sure we're clearing those channels. It's good slowing down of possession at that ruck time by the Zimbabweans. Tunisia certainly looking to work at every opportunity that they get ball in hand with their big guys. It's their strength and they may as well use it.
The one thing they've done well is that they've kept the ball. So probably into phase 6 or even 7 right now. And Zimbabwe holding up nicely. Good work by Zimbabwe. Pushing Tunisia back.
It just need to be, Zimbabwe just need to be patient on defense here. Not give away any penalties. That's a good outcome considering that was a scrum to Tunisia on the 5-yard line. But we have to think of this in this situation. Zimbabwe had a scrum over here on our 22, ball in hand, and Tunisia still have possession. We should be playing down in that half of the field had we secured our first port of call, which was securing that ruck ball when Njabula and Drobu picked and went to the open side there.
Well, another substitution for Zimbabwe.
The big man, Kiwi, plays for Old Hararians here in Harare. Looking to add weight, and he'll be coming on for Farai Modariki, who plays for the academy in Clermont-Auvergne up in France.
So some new fresh legs in the front row for Zimbabwe. And
Right time to
yeah,
start
something they need.
substitutions.
Time back on, called by Tunisia ball on the 22. And it looks like the game plan for Tunisia is to keep it within the scrum or their loose forwards. The back line is lined up to maybe try a move. We're still earlier, Mitch, where we've been saying Tunisia's strength's not in their back line. They did make some nice breaks. Their number 12, he's got a good step on him, and he's had 2 great breaks for Tunisia. The question is whether or not they're going to go to the back line for this one.
Well, it looks like, as you can see, the alignment of 12, it looks like 8 will pick and 12 will support him on the first ruck, and then they'll look to play thereafter. Excellent outcome there. Knocked on by the Tunisian number 12. Attempted offload in the tackle by the number 8. Unfortunately, the 12 couldn't keep ball in hand. Turnover in possession, Zimbabwe scrum. Now, what Zimbabwe want to do here is just play the patient game, make good, calm decisions, and that's not to play down in this area, but to put ball out and to put it out far. We have a line-out defense. Zimbabwe has a line-out defense, and they need to contest that Tunisian defense, the Tunisian line-out, and ask questions of the Tunisians.
I'm not convinced that Zimbabwe is lined up to kick this ball out. They're standing very flat. The new scrum flying off, number 21.
He's certainly not in a position in terms of his stance or his depth to make a clearance kick. Could be an 8-man pick as long as we get a right shoulder. Not the scrum that we wanted. Clearance kick off 9. Excellent outcome there. So Hilton Mudariki coming on. He's got a fantastic kicking game, and we may as well use it, and we can see there a positive outcome. That's exactly what we want. So Tunisia, ball in hand on the halfway line, apply pressure at the line out, and see what we can get as a result.
Again, Zimbabwe scrum under pressure. You could see that, and good work from the 8th man, securing the ball and allowing Mudariki a good kick from him within his own 22 and taking play to that halfway line.
Yeah, I think he did well, considering that the front row didn't give him the right shoulder that he needed. If you're going to pick and go blind, you know, your tight head prop and your tight head lock have certainly got to apply the pressure and give you the right shoulder to open up that space to move.
I'm just worried that the play looks a bit predictable from Zimbabwe. You can see 10's not even lined up to kick. The concern is that Tunisia can see that. Now, even if it's a decoy, Zimbabwe need to be looking at changing the game plan. It looks a little bit one-dimensional at the moment. I need to come up with some new ideas here.
I think I may tend to disagree with you on this one, Dirkie. I think that they haven't found their straps yet. They know what they need to do. They just need to execute it a little better. I just don't think the accuracy is there. If they can keep ball in hand and apply the phases, they'll get more opportunities to create the space and earn the right to attack those spaces that they earn.
Good work again from Tunisia, and it's come from the forwards again, finding that go-forward ball, and then that part just not going to hand from the number 9, a line-out Zimbabwe, just in their own half.
Yeah, uncharacteristic mistake there from the Tunisians in this first period of the second half. Certainly they've been the dominant team in this half, coming off the back of a strong performance in the end of the first half. Zimbabwe spent a lot of time in their own half. It's been pretty difficult to get out. We need to start asking questions of that defense with our ball handling and with our boots.
Good line out from Zimbabwe, but referee decides that it is a knock-on. So good ball lost there from the line-out. It's almost a exact opposite that we saw in the first half, Mitch. Zimbabwe were on the attack the most of the half. Only the 3 points to Tunisia from a penalty from the boot of number 15. The second half have seen most of the play from Tunisia in Zimbabwe's half.
Yeah, I think that first period of the 10 to 15 minutes, Zimbabwe had a lot of energy and enthusiasm, and we made the most of that. Unfortunately, we didn't get the points that we wanted on the scoreboard. And this next period of play that's coming up to the 80th minute is certainly going to be a challenge and a hard task.
Whenever you're ready, gradually have him on for the first 3 minutes, and then I'll stop one off when he starts coaching. When he starts coaching, he tends to coach.
Tunisia scrum just inside Zimbabwe's half. A line out won by Zimbabwe and then knocked on. So Tunisia back on the attack. They've gone blindside. And good defence by Zimbabwe, but secured again by Tunisia, given back to the forwards. Now deciding to throw it wide. Now space. Throws the ball from number 14. Zimbabwe now again having to defend. Tunisia back on the front foot. And knock-on called by the referee. Right, I'm going to make way. Mitch will stay on commentary. The next voice you'll hear is Tabu.
Thank you, Dirk. Hello, Mitch. His Melbourne scrum looking a bit more secure with Mundi coming on, especially in the second half.
Tunisians certainly have the advantage in this second half, and they need to put a bit more points on the board for all the work the positive work that they're doing here. Zimbabwe just needs to get out of this situation and apply pressure down in the Tunisian half.
Yeah, then again, the Tunisians really did look to dominate Kenya and Namibia in the matches that they've played the past 5 weeks, and they did tend to fall away a bit, especially once the forwards got tired. Something there for you fitness freaks, eh? I stand corrected. Conditioning, not fitness. Scrum down now to Zimbabwe, 25 meters out. And yet again, Zimbabwe do not look set up for the kick. Maybe Hilton Tariq is going to take a box kick and Zim get a penalty for bringing the scrum down. That's good. Now Zimbabwe is actually winning a few scrum penalties compared to the first half.
Yeah, Zimbabwe just need to settle this opportunity. Lenience Tambure with the big left foot. He's just sort of try and land it between the 10-yard and the 22 line.
Takes it up to the halfway.
Take the line out on the halfway there. This is Zimbabwe's legitimate opportunity to now put the phases together. Look after ball in hand and see if they can get themselves into kicking range to either force a penalty, to get themselves back on the board with the 3 points, or to put themselves into try-scoring opportunities. As we see Danford Mutamangira, the Zimbabwean captain, coming off, and Kevin Nkidi coming on. So that is our full allocation of substitutions of front rowers off the bench and onto the park.
Zimbabwe throwing much better to the back of the line out. Good throw by Mwale. And Zimbabwe gets a rolling ball going up. Sucking in a number of Tunisians. The blind side is completely open.
Excellent defense from the Tunisians. Spotted an opportunity to come in there from the side legally, and they've certainly created a turnover in possession. Excellent defense from a line-out from the Tunisians.
The ball goes out to the Tunisian Tunisian number 7.
It's a line break by the number 15 for
Chamzadi.
Tunisia.
And he passes to the wrong man. Trying to look for the substitute number 19, but he was unable to control that ball, and the ball goes out for a line out. And they take a quick one to the number 6. Tunisia on the attack 20 meters out. Ball goes out to another front row, the number 16. And a penalty to Tunisia for playing on the ground, I think. What line is that?
Ron, whenever you're ready.
Oh.
Well, Tabo Jeff Morimbechi is back in the mix. And as you know, I love pressure situations. Right now, it's not looking very good for the Zimbabweans. As you can see, the Tunisians seem to have found that captain velocity formula. And these guys are putting a lot of pressure on the Zimbabweans. What can Zimbabwe do in terms of defense? We've got Hilton Darigi coming on for Rai Gigi at scrum half. It's a good defensive move, but we don't know how much it will pay dividends. What do you think, Tabo?
No, I believe Hilton is a more technical man and he's more secure. You know the things that he's going to do, and he does play to instruction. And I believe that's what
from the Tunisians have, Tunisians have the ball. They played a 6-ball while Zimbabwe was defending for a 2. They're pushing in. It looks like a more Zimbabweans are not
looking very dangerous.
Lennon Sambuera seems to be a bit ball watching. I would ideally have him out. We've got 2 men out. Zimbabwe have covered that. We've got Fortune Chipendu and Kiwi covering that up quite well. It looks like it's going to be held up because the Zimbabweans are very good at that. It is a short arm. We're going to see if it's going to be Zimbabwean's ball or the Tunisians' ball. But like I said, they have found a velocity. How they've done that, probably they're listening to Dirk and Grant, which is not the best thing to do if you're a Zimbabwean, listening to these two, because these two always give you the winning formula. And looks like a scrum down, Tunisia ball.
Another dangerous situation there. Tunisia making good use of their move, getting over the Zimbabwean try line, but getting held up in the last moment. I mean, this is really tight stuff. The new players in the Zimbabwean side are really getting cooked today. This is perhaps where we are learning how much depth we have in our side.
Well, as you know from the last press conference that we had, Zimbabwe and Tunisia are working on the 2019 World Cup. So the likes of Farai Mdariki, Hilton Dariki, Farai Gigi are very key in terms of what's happening. They have turned the scrum around. Zimbabwe ball. The crowd is happy. We've got a lot of the fans clapping. And ideally, Zimbabwe should kick. What would you do as the captain? What would you do if you were Denford to make that on-field decision right now, Tabo?
Well, right now, Denford has come off, and I think individual. Stick to the team's ethic.
Well, Linian Sambuera has maintained the Zimbabwean standard in the whole of the game, which is finding touch, something very critical, something that the Tunisians were not able to do. Zimbabwe have possession. We have the line out. Is it going to be a 2, a 6, or an 8 ball? It looks like it's going to be a 2 ball, or it's an 8 ball. What a surprise. Zimbabwe spread it wide. Linian Sambuera, he dummies. He skips. The ball is out. Seems like it's going to be a ball out to
little bit better than the left, I think. And Tunisia running it up through the middle, using the number 19 to jam the middle, the midfield.
Any man's game now because the Tunisians have got that confidence. We have seen them running the ball at the Zimbabweans. You've got the likes of Hilton Nariki. He's an eager beaver. He wants to be there when the ball is in action. And as you can see, it seems to be a bit of an infringement. The ref is calling it out, try to keep the game clean. So far, Tabo, I think I'm happy we've had a clean game. Not so much dirty play, not so many hands in the rock, people falling over, punches and kicks and things like that. I think the solidarity between the two teams is, I think it's reminiscent. If I had to use some big words from a Nigerian politician, I would say I am maniacally pleased that today we've had a clean game and it's Zimbabwe ball.
I am also maniacally pleased that Zimbabwe has managed to stay out of any tussles because the Tunisians were able to suck the Kenyans into 3 or 4 tussles that disrupted their rhythm last week. And we're seeing another grabber kick into the Tunisian 22 and they take a quick line out trying to get out of the pressure situation, but the referee calls it back.
Well, in my book, I say that is the definition of beauty because right there, that kick, well, we seem to have a bit of a scuffle. So Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao seem to have their contestants up in this game. And that's one thing we don't want to encourage in rugby. In the IRB code, we don't condone violence. So this is absolutely childish, and we don't expect this from both teams. We hope that the captains and the coaches and the ref will retain order because we have had a good game, like we've just been saying. We haven't had a lot of punches, a lot of kicking, a lot of biting and bad mouthing on the field. And this is unnecessary, but I think this is reminiscent of a lot of tension in a team whereby you have both teams trying to get out of the tier that they're in. They want the World Cup. They want to be the 2019 World Cup, but this is not the way to show how much he needs this. And I am seeing Ron Mitchell clenching his face and Dirk Villian clenching their faces because this is not sportsmanship. You don't punch a player, you outrun him. And Tabo, I mean, hey, my brother, you know what we're talking about.
You know, I've just spoken about the Zimbabweans getting suckered into tussles like what happened last week. And I think it was always going to happen because the Tunisians do need this game. They're absolutely desperate to get points. If they lose this match, they're getting relegated to the Division of B, and they've absolutely, for the growth of the 15-man game in their country, they've got to stay in the 1A.
Wow, this takes me back to a time when we were playing as under 14. We had a little short guy called Tatenda Mseba. In this situation, he will sacrifice himself, get a penalty, get post, and Churchill will be ahead. So right now, Zimbabwe's ideal option is to get Hilton Larry to get a high tackle, sacrifice himself, get post, get 3 more points on the board, and it's working right now. To get the extra 3 or 5 points.
Well, firstly, I don't think Mrs. Mutariki would agree with Hilton Mutariki getting one in the neck for the team.
Well, she loves it. I mean, she's a lady. I mean, I think she's a chief of SAA of some sort, but she would really love this. So that Captain Velocity vibe from Telco seems to be dominant at this point in time. Two nations having a similar history. They all want the same thing, and it's going down here at Prince Edward Jubilee Field. And commentary, you have Tabo and Jeff, and we are on our seat, literally, because Zimbabwe is trying to get into the 22. It seems like Tunisia ball, Zimbabwe ball, they're spreading it wide. Fortune Chipendu, he gets back in, drops the ball. Oh my God, Tabo, help me, Tabo.
For a sevens player, I'm surprised at Fortune because he tugged the ball under his left armpit. He should have been holding the ball in 2 hands, looking to throw the player, then passing it out to the man out on the wing, would have been a shoe for a try in the corner.
I can certainly tell you that if Fortune Chipendu was playing for the Oranges right now, that pop pass would have gone to someone like Boyd Rouse, who would have got in there, guns blazing. But it seems like a scrum down right now because there are a couple of knocks that have happened there. We're yet to ascertain from the ref who has the ball. It looks like Zimbabwe ball because Zimbabwe has gone deep. And look at the firepower. We've got Nemadi Range window outside. Boyd Rouse perfect on hands. We've got Cleopas perfect with hands. and we've got Linear somewhere at number 10. What is going to happen? Is Zimbabwe is Zimbabwe available in terms of sending this ball out? Can we ship it out? If the ball is secured, I tell you, it's going to be very bad trouble. You don't want to see this. You don't want to see this.
A point of interest, I am seeing that Stephen Unduza, the blindside wing, has moved into the channel between the scrum itself and the fly-off. Perhaps Zimbabwe are going to use the option of the extra man to create space outside. And the eighth man picks it up. Njabulo Ndovu, he's having a go for himself.
Well, Jemba has got it out. The ball is out. The boys are spreading it. Boy draws, skips it to Nemadire. Nemadire gets the truck. Oh my gosh. And as you can see, there's support play. The ball keeps going. Jemba goes down. The forwards are in it. They're forming to the left. Zimbabwe is hoping to run this ball down. Tabo, I have no idea how this game is going to pan out, but it looks good for the Zimbabweans.
Well, right now Zimbabwe conceding the turnover, and Tunisia are running the ball out of their 22. The ball has gone down to the substitute wing, and he has been taken in halfway between the 22 and the 10. The Tunisians are really looking to run this game. Perhaps they send something in the air.
Unfortunately, the Tunisians have one thing that is needed to propel forward. The Tunisians need to kick forward, and the Tunisians are not kicking forward. It looks like Zimbo has been brought back. The home crowd is singing, Mafero, let's go forward. Literal translation means, guys, let's go forward. It's Zimbo. What is Zimbabwe going to do now to retain this leadership? Remember, this is a defining moment for Zimbabwe. A whole full of school kids and all sorts of people. It's been viral on social media. Hashtag ZimTurnUp. We're here live at Prince Edward Tabo. I think I'm going to call my doctor because my blood pressure's up.
Zimbabwe winning a penalty for Tunisian offsides late in the game. Absolutely late.
How many minutes to go?
We've got a couple of minutes to go, and I will try to go very English, but as you know, men of color love to sensationalize everything. And I can literally tell you, if you listen to the microphone and all these people screaming right now, they're not sure, is Zimbabwe going to get over the hurdle? Right now, it's a penalty Zimbabwe. Linus Tambera using his left foot to get 3 extra points. He goes for the far post. It's in. Zimbabwe get 3 more points. It's phenomenal. Zimbabwe have a grip on Tunisia. It seems like that's the end of the match, and Zimbabwe have got it. Oh my gosh, I am short of words. At this point, it's all tears.
The crowd on their feet.
But for Zimbabwe, witness 2 matches, Tabo, 2 matches where Zimbabwe not played at home, and they have.
I need a hero today. Always today. Never you any other. Every day. It's time to go.
Don't worry about it. When you need a fast internet connection, just call me, Captain Velocity. Introducing the new broadband packages from Telco. Get the Velocity Christmas package for only $75 per month, and Velocity packages from only $35 per month. Now that's the real deal. 416-830-0050 or email sales@telco.co.zw. Telco, broadband, and beyond.
Disconnected. Disconnected is how I feel. I'm so tired of being put on hold and there with absolutely no help at all.
Hi, man. What seems to be the problem?
Internet service provider, it just becomes so distant. And yet they seem to keep me connected to the internet. When I call them for help, they don't pick up, and if they do, they just give me empty promises. And so,
Captain Velocity is here. You can count on me to take care of all your queries. And what's more, my team will make sure that all your calls are responded to. If your problem is within 24 hours, you can immediately say that all that business packages to your pocket. What's the choice?
really?
Yes, really. Mine can let you cover from one city to another.
Oh, wow. I need to miss you.
Or on me. Always 30,050. anytime. I'll be waiting.
My hero.
Telco, broadband, and beyond.